the Mediterranean island of Sardinia, popular with tourists and locals alike. You've more chance of living to 100 here than anywhere in the world. Good to know, even if the peace and tranquility of local life is shattered once in a while. Yes, the annual high-speed invasion is underway as the World Rally Championship adds a blast of colour to the Costa Smeralda. I'm Kevin Piper. Welcome to round 7 of the WRC season. It's Rally Italia Sardegna. We're exactly halfway through a season that started back in the freezing cold of Monte Carlo and Sweden, but is now very much about the heat and dust of traditional summer gravel rallies. Sardinia, the final stop before the mid-season break. Sebastian Ogier's won 3 of the first 6 events, but encountered his first major problem last time out in Greece. His VW stranded in the opening stage with fuel pressure problems.
Yeah, I think it should be okay now. The team has worked on it, and unfortunately it can happen. Of course it was not the result I expected there, but before that we had a good start, so now I just want to restart to score a good point here.
But this weekend will be an especially tough test for all concerned. Rally Italia packed into just 2 long, gruelling days this year instead of the usual 3. A real test of endurance in the searing midsummer heat.
The main challenge will be the temperature, maybe end of June here. We've seen here in the Ricci it's really hot, maybe sometime over 35 degrees, so it can be quite hard for us in the car and also for the mechanics.
On the Ricci it was 37 degrees on the stage end, so in the rally car I can't even imagine what it will be. So just drink a lot of water. You know, the physical training we have done before the event is very critical.
Some other rallies, the line and the side of the road is really easy to see and kind of guess where the corner is and get it right. But here there's always rocks and bushes or something kind of breaking the clear line of the road. So it's more difficult to read the road, and you have to be a little bit more neat all the time, even though it's really fast.
If you push a bit too much, normally you want the gut, then you have rock. If you go too fast, then there's rock. It's things to hit so much. So to find that level to drive fast on the narrow road, but to keep it all the time on the control that you don't attack too much to the corners.
It's very narrow with a lot of stones everywhere, and it's very easy to puncture or to break a wheel or something like this.
And here's where it's all happening, the holiday hotspot of Sardinia off the west coast of the Italian mainland, about an hour's flight from Rome. The rally based in the port of Olbia, with the stages stretching out over the north of the island. Sebastian Ogier's lead over Acropolis winner Jari-Matti Latvala, now 52 points, but with 25 available for a win, plus power stage bonus points, things can change quickly. Volkswagen also leading the Manufacturers' Championship, but their advantage over Citroën is just 18 points. M-Sport in 3rd place. The weekend's action underway with qualifying. Jari-Matti Latvala picking up where he left off in Greece, setting the quickest time to earn first choice of road position for the rally proper. Fellow Finn Mika Hirvonen's last WRC victory came here in Sardinia last year. He was the highest placed Citroën in 4th. Russian Yevgeny Novikov was runner-up here last year, and he's the pick of the M-Sport drivers, 2nd quickest behind Latvala. And as expected, Jari-Matti opts to start last of the 13 elite WRC runners. The stages should be swept clean of loose dust and gravel by the time the Finn passes through. Khalid Al-Qasimi leads them away. There's a WRC debut for young Welshman Elfyn Evans. The big names starting further back, Hirvonen, Ogier and Novikov just ahead of Latvala. Qualifying over, the crews headed to the northwest of the island for the ceremonial start at Sassari. A riot of rich colour and local culture celebrating this year's visit of the WRC. Jari-Matti Latvala among those appreciating a warm welcome from the local rally fans. So, day 1, Friday, a long opening day featuring 8 stages, a total competitive distance of almost 150 kilometres. Add in the road section and the crews will cover well over 600 kilometres today, ending in darkness some 16 hours later. A gruelling 2-day test of endurance ahead then, as we prepare for the first run through Monte Lerno, watched by commentator Paul King.
And as you quite rightly mentioned, we have quite some day in store today, Kevin. We start with the longest stage of the weekend, also the most famous, Montilerno. It's more than 31 kilometres in length, and one of our first runners is a new face to the WRC field, young Welshman Elfyn Evans.
Full left shot.
You can only imagine the sensation inside that car, part excitement, part terror in equal measure. And the 24-year-old has good reason to feel the nerves. These Sardinian stages are some of the most demanding on the calendar. Wide and flowing to begin with here, but there are plenty of rougher, tougher challenges ahead. And another new face for 2013 here, but a familiar one nonetheless. Per Gunnar Andersen, 2 times a junior WRC champion, but still yet to make a sustained impact in the sport's top level. But that's a puncture. The tyre completely destroyed. Rubber delaminating from the tyre. Fortunately, it's close to the stage finish, but proof that even the toughest tyres in the world will take some punishments on this hot, rough surface. Well, we saw plenty of such incidents last time out in Greece, and an early reminder for the rest of the field that these stages also need respect. Our eye in the sky, chasing Mikko Hirvonen. Finn, one of many to come unstuck in Greece. The Citroën man is fast approaching Mickey's jump, named after Italy's great champion Mickey Biaggiano. Dab on the brakes to set it up. Hirvonen opting for a controlled leap. A tactic often used, highest, not necessarily quickest over these jumps. The quicker you get the wheels on the ground, the quicker you get the power down. Even so, has been a soaring start for Hirvonen. He's quickest through so far. And here is our championship leader, Sébastien Ogier. Frenchman still holds a comfortable advantage in the title race, but that setback in Greece will remind him that nothing is won yet. And if you thought Mikko was special over Mickey's jump, just take a look at that. An absolutely huge leap from the VW start. Simply breathtaking. Hirvonen opted for caution. Ogier just wanted to see if his Polo could fly, and fly it did. 25 metres, that 1,000 kilogram car flew. Wow. Seb leaving nothing in reserve here, and he is 5 seconds quicker than Hirvonen. Normal service resumed at the moment for the Frenchman. The road surface, of course, improving for every passing car as the loose gravel is swept away. That's why this man, Jari-Matti Latvala, chose to run as the last WRC car after going fastest in qualifying. The Greaseman are definitely worth a look over Montilerno's jump. Jari pumped up and aggressive from the off, but slightly untidy over Mickey's jump. Let's take another look. Yeah, Jari just slightly crosses up as he hits the crest. Still a huge leap though. But I see something amiss with that front left tyre. Yeah, take a look at it now. Well, it might have started as a puncture, but the tyre is rapidly disintegrating. Whoa, and like Andersen earlier, the rubber has completely delaminated from the wheel. Once again, Jari's experiencing that deflating feeling, and he's had to drive for several kilometres like this. Well, Michelin's hard compound latitude cross tyre is tough, close to unbreakable, but there are limits.
8 kilometers in, I don't know exactly where it was. Suddenly I just felt that the tire was empty on the braking, so I don't have a clear vision where it happened. First I thought it was a right, because I know that there was a stone. I hit the stone with the right, but it was right was fine, so eventually it was the left. Is this a disaster? Well, it doesn't look good yet, but let's see. Let's keep going, and let's see what happens in this rally.
Jari-Matti staying positive but out of luck. Unlike VW teammate Sébastien Ogier, he's in front ahead of Citroën's Mikko Hirvonen. A good start too for M Sport duo Novikov and Osberg running 3rd and 4th. Further back, an encouraging run from rookie Welshman Elfyn Evans, ending his first stage in the top 10. Meanwhile, Jari-Matti Latvala and co-driver Mika Antila get to work changing the wheel in the road section. All in all, that puncture has cost them almost 2 minutes. So we're up and running in spectacular style here in Sardinia, but it's going to be a long opening day with lots more to come from an action-packed Rally Italia very shortly. Welcome back to the Rally Italia Sardegna, offering another stunning backdrop for the latest stop in this year's World Rally Championship adventure. Our WRC eye in the sky, enjoying a perfect view of the Mediterranean landscape. A telltale dust trail ahead as we now locate and track Citroën team leader Mikko Hirvonen through the 14 kilometres of Castelsardo. Mikko Hirvonen pushing hard in second position. Another driver on a mission in stage 2. Russia's Yevgeny Novikov, joined at the start line now by Paul.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Evgeny starts this stage in a podium position. He did lead briefly in Greece as well, so we know he's quick.
Right here, nice water and still brake.
Oh no! That is a huge accident. They're on the roof. The first concern, of course, for Evgeny and Ilka. I think they're okay, but they are going to be very shaken after this. Just clipped the rear into the wall, and they were passengers. It was an absolutely flat-out stretch of road. Must have been terrifying inside the car as well. You can see the rather inglorious exit from the car with the wheels facing upwards, but as I said, Evgeny and Ilka thankfully unharmed.
Was the right corner which tightens, and I have a flat in my pace notes, so I tried to go flat, but it was too slippery, and we hit the fence made of stones and rolled. So damaged rear left wheel, and the damage is quite bad, so I don't think that will start tomorrow.
Understatement from Evgeny there. He's replaced by his Guitar M Sport teammate Mads Osberg in third, with Danny Sordo into fourth as we move on to our stage of the day. Turgo Osilo is just under 15 kilometres of undulating, rugged terrain. A real roller coaster of a stage this. We've selected a section of just over 1.5 kilometres to compare our leading drivers through. Fast in places, but also tight and technical. No margin for error, as ever. With Mads Osberg fastest through our split section so far. First to challenge his effort is Mikko Hirvonen. Look out for the banner on the end of that wall. That marks the start of our time section. As you can see, 1 minute, 1.6 seconds, the time Mikko's aiming for. Well, let's take a look at this stage then. Still quite open and flowing, as we've already seen, nudging the edge of the road at times. Yama Leighton will be warning of the corners, and caution is needed. Much rougher and more abrasive here too. The sun beating down. Not only will this long day get increasingly uncomfortable for the WRC's finest, it will also, of course, increase tyre wear as the surface temperature builds. Attack too hard and the rubber will not last. Don't attack enough and you could slip down the leaderboard. Oh, inches away from those low walls. Through a chicane there, that's been added to bring speeds down for a tarmac section, but how will Hirvonen fare against Osberg's time? The second chicane marks the end of the split. Oh, just 1/10 of a second between them in 1.5 kilometres. It's been a solid start to the rally for the man in second, but can he get back on terms with the rally leader? And here is the man Mikko is once again chasing, Sébastien Ogier. Look out for the end of the wall, remember. Now our split time clock fires up and we can ride on board with the man who's lit up the WRC stages so far in 2013. Osberg's effort of 101.6, still the time to beat. The Frenchman is already looking good to firmly consign his Greek tragedy to the history books. Remember, he started this stage just over 14 seconds up on Citroen's flying Finn Hirvonen. Still incredibly quick in places here. This is how we rally in Sardinia. Good showing of Italian fans out there on the hillside as well. Ogier really aggressive again, waiting for that second chicane, remember. You can hear the rubber squealing on the tarmac. Yeah, it's almost a second and a half up on Osberg. That's incredible driving from the championship leader. Supremely talented on the stages, yet completely calm and controlled. Ogier's teammate Jari-Matti Latvala is known to get a bit more emotional, and who can blame him after yet another luckless start. And let's start the clock. We've already seen Jari respond to his early puncture with a stage win in the second test. Little sign of feeling sorry for himself too in our split time section. Fighting for fractions of seconds in every corner, and still enjoying that superior grip to the rest of the field, remember. Look out for the tracks of clear gravel ahead of Latvala here. This run through our split section, another indication how hard he's fighting. Flat out here in the approach to the chicanes on the tarmac. Can he beat Ogier through the split? Oh, not quite, just 0.2 of a second in it. Fans enjoying the effort though. Thierry Neuville's another young driver with plenty of raw speed, but has only shown fleeting glimpses of his talent since his switch to M Sport at the start of the year. Oh. And again, the Belgian reaching beyond the limits. A lucky boy on that occasion. But he should survive with his 5th place intact.
So another stage win for Ogier. He extends his lead over second place Mika Hirvonen to over 20 seconds. Osberg's strong run has seen him close slightly on the Finn, while just off the leading pack now, Latvala has moved back up to 7th. Well, it was a typically early start for the crews today. 7 o'clock and the service park in Olbia is already a hive of activity. Team mechanics packing their tools ahead of a 100-kilometre trip to Sassari for a remote service, which, as the name suggests, means working on the cars away from base with limited resources this morning, all adding to the challenge of the weekend.
The majority of our team go across. Basically, we're allowed 4 mechanics per car working on the car, and then there'll be the engineer in charge of each car as well. The key thing is that we're limited. The spare parts that we can fit in a remote service are only ones that we carry in the car. So obviously, from weight purposes, the cars don't want to be driving around with gearboxes and heavy components and things like that in. So they'll tend to just take suspension components and smaller items like those. The time's limited as well. It's only a 15-minute service, and they're only allowed to use hand tools, so it's quite a big difference from what we're allowed to do here.
Well, here we are now, joining M Sport's Mads Osberg, arriving at the remote service after 60 kilometres of rough, rocky stages this morning, with another 60 kilometres before he reaches full service back at Olbia.
So Nigel, Mads is in 3rd. What are you expecting to have to do at this remote service?
Hopefully not a lot, because we don't have a lot of time, so it's really just going to be a good check over. If there's anything specific, then we go straight to that, but it's really prioritised depending on what we have to do. Can you just quickly see what the fuel level is when you got 2 seconds? If you want. Yeah. Oscar, can you check preload? Yeah. Is that okay?
Was 14 hours 80.
Okay. Yeah? Yeah. What's the ABS, please? 34.7. You done ride height and everything? You happy?
Yeah, it's good, thank you.
So Nigel, as far as remote services go, how was that?
That was a reasonably good one. I've definitely had worse.
after more than 5 hours of sweltering competition under the scorching Sardinian sun, we're still not even halfway through this marathon day of competition. Stage 4 is a repeat pass through Castelsardo, and we've joined Osberg's teammate Thierry Neuville. The Belgian utterly focused on Nicolas Gilzoul's guidance, and he's thrown caution to the wind. Despite moving on to one of the tighter, more technical sections the drivers fear the most.
Pour arrêter, gauche 92, ferme 30 et l'est, sur droiti, gauche 92, ferme 30 et l'est, sur droiti, sur gauche 30 bref.
It's a stage win for Neuville, and he is gaining rapidly on the drivers ahead. Confirmation there, the Belgian is now just a couple of seconds behind Dani Sordo. And with Neuville becoming the emerging force in Sardinia, we'll take a break. Plenty more to come though from the Rally d'Italia.
A marathon opening day of the Rally Italia continues on the sun-kissed island of Sardinia. A long way still to go for both the elite WRC class and those contesting the support series here. Plenty of interest in the WRC 2 championship, not least with former Grand Prix driver Robert Kubica, the Polish star, winning comfortably last time out in Greece and continuing to impress. Kubica building up a lead from the start of the day. He sits over a minute ahead of the rest of the field, running just outside the top 10 in the overall classification. Behind Kubica, a lively chase developing. German Sepp Wiegand was running in second. That was until the penultimate stage this evening, when he developed problems and dropped back to fourth place. That was nothing compared to Ukrainian Yuri Protasov, who'd been pushing Wiegand hard in third place, but he was forced to stop in stage 7, all of which allowed championship leader Abdelaziz Al-Kouari to move up to third, just 2.5 seconds behind Italian debutant Lorenzo Bettelli, thoroughly enjoying his first WRC2 outing, running in second place going into tonight's final stage. Okay, back to the elite WRC class now with Paul.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, this marathon day has seen plenty of incident and intrigue already, but still plenty of kilometres to cover. Bogier still the man to catch. Martin Prokop's giving his all here in stage 5. The ever-reliable Czech is in control and on course to score points again. Ford Privateer running in 8th place. Mads Osberg, meanwhile, is again proving the pace we know he has. The Norwegian just needs to get some results to go with his undoubted speed. And sports number 1 running in the final podium place as the afternoon stages roll on. But there is a man behind who is looming large in his rear view mirrors. And here that man is. I don't know what Thierry Neuville had for lunch, but whatever it was, it has been effective. The Belgian has been simply spectacular this afternoon. As we revisit Mickey's jump in Montilerno for a second time, Neuville is flying metaphorically as well as literally. Fastest again in stage 5. He passes Sordo for 5th. In stage 6, he overhauls Osberg, and he's not finished yet. So, beware Mikko Hirvonen. As Neuville is consistently hitting the top of the timesheets, worryingly the Citroën Star's pace has faded. With tyre wear in the increasing heat the principal cause, the Finn's grip on second is becoming increasingly weak. Quite a battle between second and 5th positions then, but what about the man out front? Well, what do you expect from a driver who's already won 3 rallies in 2013 in the standout machinery of the season so far? Again, the Ogier Polo R combination has been so far unmatchable.
How do you look after your tyres so well?
I mean, it's nothing special, it's just my natural driving style, but for sure when it's even warm like that, I try to be even more safe with steering and even more progressive.
So with one more night stage to run, Ogier's advantage is just over 44 seconds. The driver of the afternoon though, Thierry Neuville, moving up from 5th to 3rd just behind Hirvonen. Further back, Mikkelsen can expect to come under attack from Jari-Matti Latvala. Elfyn Evans remains on course to end his first day at the sport's top level in 10th. It's been a bruising first day here on the island of Sardinia, a long one too. They'll enjoy their rest tonight and they'll need it. Join us again refreshed and ready to go once more tomorrow.
Right to your right to autocross and still brave.
Sardinia, sun-kissed island in the Mediterranean. The locals here have seen a lot over the years, happily going about their business despite the annual invasion of tourists and holidaymakers. It's also a brilliant location for top-class sporting action, if you play your cards right. Midsummer in the Med and Sardinia's come alive to the sights and sounds of World Rally. I'm Kevin Piper. Welcome to round 7 of the WRC Rally Italia. Sardinia lies off the west coast of Italy, with the rally packed into 2 days, based in the north of the island on the Costa Smeralda, the service park at the port of Olbia. Rally Italia marks the midway point of the season, the temperature rising considerably since it all got underway in Monte Carlo back in January. Sébastien Ogier has won 3 events so far. VW teammate Jari-Matti Latvala won the last round in Greece. He came here full of confidence, but any hopes of the Finn repeating that success were over by the very first stage after a roadside rock destroyed his front tyre.
Is this a disaster?
Well, it doesn't look good yet, but let's see. Let's keep going and let's see what happens in this rally.
Yevgeny Novikov was looking to at least equal his best ever result, second here last year. Those hopes soon crushed in brutal fashion. That collision with a wall just a few hundred metres into stage 2. With the drivers spending around 16 hours on the road and temperatures touching 30 degrees Celsius and more, it was always going to be a gruelling opening day. A spectacular one too, though. None of which seemed to concern championship leader Sébastien Ogier. A succession of quick times saw him dominate, gaining an advantage of more than 40 seconds in the process. As a long day became night, a big battle was developing for second. At the head of the pack, Finland's Mikko Hirvonen in the Citroën, aiming to get his championship challenge back on track. He was followed by Mads Osberg in the Ford Fiesta. Spain's Dani Sordo was also in there, while Thierry Neuville was putting in another strong performance. They were separated by a little more than 20 seconds going into the final stage of day 1, but that 4-way battle would become a 3-way fight when Osberg rolled his Ford Fiesta on stage 8. Confirmation then that Ogier goes into this second and final day with a lead of 46 seconds. Mikko Hirvonen just 3.1 seconds ahead of Neuville. Dani Sordo 4th. Jari-Matti Latvala has fought his way back up to 5th. Anders Mikkelsen is the best of the rest in 6th, 1 place ahead of Martin Prokop. Youngster Elfyn Evans in the top 10 on his full WRC debut. The leaderboard reversed to determine road order today. PG Anderson leads them away, followed by the restarting Mads Osberg. Sordo 9th, then it's Neuville, Hirvonen and Ogier. So, what awaits them on this final day? Well, 4 different stages, each run twice, all adding up to a competitive distance of almost 160 kilometres. And with another 300 kilometres of road section on top of that, it's sure to be another long, gruelling day. Here we go then, time to rejoin our commentator, Paul King.
Thanks, Kevin. It's another early start for the crews, 8 o'clock in the morning. The first challenge, the 19 kilometres of Monte Olbia. And Mikko Hirvonen is on it here. The Finn begins in second place, but under real pressure from M Sport's Thierry Neuville. The only true forest stage of the rally here. Any mistakes will be heavily punished, but there is no sign of caution from the 2012 Sardinia winner. Mikko scores his first stage win of the weekend. So the battle is on. Hirvanen's thrown down the gauntlet, down to Neuville. Let's see what he's got.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Belgian bullet is away. He really was the star of the show on Friday afternoon and remains just 8.5 seconds behind Mikko as we move into the narrow technical challenge through Terra Nova. This is probably the roughest, toughest test of the weekend.
80 mètres.
Neuville and Hirvanen will need brains as well as brawn for the next few minutes. Incredibly tight, and just look how much the Fiesta's bouncing over the bumps and ruts. Neuville's on his way, so we return to the man of the moment. Hirvanen back on the start line. He also shaved 6 seconds from the rally leader's advantage in that first test. A really bullish start to the day here from Mikko. Been a bit ragged. Oh, I think that's too much. Mikko off the road. It didn't look too dramatic, but immediately he's telling spectators to push. The Finn's got that DS3 beached at the edge of the road. Well, Mikko will have to use fan power now to try and get back on the stage. Let's take another look. He already seemed a bit out of shape after a compression, and he seems to outbrake himself at the hairpin way too fast. Well, fortune favours the brave, they say, but this is not looking good. Despite that group of fans' best efforts to rock the DS3 back onto the road, that car remains stuck fast. Well, Mikko had to push not only to stay ahead of Neuville, but also to keep this man honest. Sébastien Ogier's excellence has forced his rivals into overdriving again and again this year. The Frenchman, cool as a cucumber, despite these energy-sapping, suspension-crunching roads. The rally isn't won yet, but that's 2 stages down, 6 to go on the final day for the rally leader. But Hirvanen's attack is over. The OK sign left by Jarmo Lehtinen there, that's to let passing cars and the safety helicopter know no one is injured. But how bleak do those championship hopes look now?
Yeah, it is a disaster, and you know, so really have to say sorry for the team. It was still we were in a good position to fight for the second place. So, and really small mistake, but just went half a meter wide, and there's a ditch that you know, the car is just stuck from the bottom and we can't get it out. So, you know, really disappointing.
Thank you everybody, good drive. If somebody comes to service park this afternoon, beer is on me.
Cheers, Jarmo. So, Neuville has been gifted second place after Hirvanen's moment of madness. The Belgian lying just over 52 seconds behind Ogier. Sordo up to third, but he has Latvala looming large. Further back, Martin Prokop is up to sixth, with an interesting battle developing between Mikhail Koskiescu and WRC rookie Elfyn Evans. Mikko Hirvanen then has been well and truly grounded, but there's plenty more high-flying action coming up after this quick break. Welcome back to Sardinia, the final day of Rally Italia. Sébastien Ogier on course for his 4th win of the season, but quite a challenge lies ahead for the Flying Frenchman and the rest of the field. Next up, it's our stage of the day, the 22 kilometres of Monte di Ala. One section in particular has caught our attention. We've selected 1.5 kilometres to focus on, one of the iconic arenas of the Sardinian round, in the shadow of a wind farm, over a crest, plunging into a breathtakingly quick downhill sequence of flat-out bends. Let's compare and contrast our front runners then with Paul.
And Kevin, I can confirm that Jari-Matti Latvala has been in aggressive mood as he cranks up the pressure on third place Danny Sordo. That sign marks the start of our split section. Here we go. The clock is ticking. 53.9 seconds, the benchmark so far. That's been set by Jari's teammate Andreas Mikkelsen. And into our selected sections, flat out sequence, a really smooth surface too. Time to go for it, Jari. Foot hard on the gas. He'll nudge 100 kilometers an hour in some places. It's all about rhythm through this relentless sequence of bends. The building on the right of the screen marks the end of our timed section. Let's see what he can do.
30 keskeltä. 110, vasen 4 oli nypyn, älä betoni kirraa. Heti oikein 5, älä kivi.
Oh, that was close, Jari. Just a tenth quicker than Mikkelsen. Quite some effort from the Greece winner. So with Latvala back to his battling best, let's see what his closest rivals can do. Danny Sordo's next. Those wind farms now a famous scene in the WRC calendar. And the clock is fired up. Nice and tidy through this long left sweeper.
9 rasante posible a fondo, 20, derecha no es rasante posible, fondo 20 y gracias rápido a ti, 40, rasante ya a derecha 7 a fondo, 60, frena a la izquierda, 5 poco lenta, 5 poco lenta.
Oh, but Danny off the road briefly there. This is exactly why we focused on this section. It's quick and so easy to run wide. The increase in speed means more rapid notes from Carlos Del Barrio.
Izquierda, 5 T. 5 T. Para derecha, 5, muy rápida, larga. Para rasante confunde ya, izquierda, 4 poco lenta, se cierra, poco lenta.
The hut up ahead marks the end of our time section, remember. Well, Danny a full second slower than Latvala through our 1.5 kilometers. That doesn't bode well in his defense of third. Let's look at that close call again from our eye in the sky. Just loses the rear, and that's all it takes to drop a second at these speeds. A good recovery though from the Spaniard. And now the last man to watch through our special section. Second place, Thierry Neuville. Here comes the sign, let's watch the clock. Following Hirvanen's frustrating exit in the previous stage, Neuville is now on course for a best ever result in second place. The Belgian's raw speed on display again here as he chases that split time target. 53.8 seconds set by Latvala. It's rapidly becoming a breakthrough event for the M-Sport man. Neuville's all-action driving style doesn't always have the desired effect, but when he keeps it together, Thierry is developing into one of the most potent weapons in the sport.
Droite 80 millions. Droite 80 millions. 80 mètres.
Just a couple of corners to go now.
Droite 220 mètres. Gauche 50 plus millions maison. Sur droite 50 long. Gauche 50 plus millions maison. Sur droite 50 millions. Pour gauche.
4 tenths slower, just fractions of seconds between these guys again. And it's a good indication of how closely matched these top guys are. Latvala was quickest, but look at that, just a second between Mikkelsen, Neuville and Sordo as well.
Thanks, Paul. It's the overall standings that count, though, and that storming run through our stage of the day has seen Latvala make it past Sordo and into the final podium spot. Tremendous recovery from the Finn after that puncture in stage 1. Okay, on to another showpiece location of the Rally Italia, the 22 kilometres of Coluna Luel, famous for another spectacular jump, with the cars leaping around 30 metres through the air. It's quite a show. Let's enjoy it. though, seems to be enjoying himself a little too much. The Belgian coming close to disaster here in his desperate efforts to maintain his buffer back to the chasing Latvala. Lucky escape for Neuville. Back at the midday service in Olbia Port, Sébastien Ogier's lead is more than a minute ahead of Neuville. 4 more stages between the Belgian and his best ever WRC results. However, with Latvala now just 36 seconds back, how will Neuville handle the pressure?
4 stages to go, 4 long stages, and Jari-Matti was pushing behind, so we try to stay in front, of course. I'm sure if he really pushes hard, he can take out some time of us, but we will see. If we have the feeling, if the car is going well this afternoon and the grip is good, then I'm sure we can resist and we can stay in front.
Well, Neuville would appear to have the right temperament. Now it's time to prove he has the talent to match that confidence and hold on to second place.
It's back out to the afternoon loop then, Kevin. The public awaits the stars of the show. The repeated passes through Monte Olia and Terranova, the crew's first challenge. Well, we know Neuville is desperate to hold on to second place. He certainly earned it with some barnstorming displays in Sardinia. And his composure remains steady, as does his crucial half-a-minute advantage over the chasing Latvala. Further back though, there is a battle for position that's showing no sign of easing up. For 3 consecutive stages, WRC rookie Elvin Evans and Polish privateer Michał Koziszko have traded positions. With Evans edging back in front in stage 13, the 2012 WRC Academy winner is now on course for an unprecedented 7th place finish on his debut at the sport's top level. Andreas Mikkelsen is another youngster striving to make his mark at rallying's high table. It's the Norwegian's 24th birthday, and with Danny Sordo's 4th position just 11 seconds ahead, he's having a go here.
Need for right final. 20. Turn 2 left over crest and bridge.
Oh! Well, the Sardinian roads continuing to bite right through to the finish, and this was a heavy impact. With his suspension smashed, that's the end of the road for the birthday boy.
Yeah, we tried to keep the pressure on Danny. We were trying to catch the 4th place, but I was braking a little bit too late into a right, into a left, and we slid a little bit wide in the first corner, and we hit the tree stump on the outside. Yeah, that's life sometimes, you know. It's sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. No, it's bad.
Fair comment. So another change in the top 5. Martin Prokop now moves up to 5th. The gap between Neuville and Latvala stays at just over half a minute. Further back, Mikkelsen's off means Evans is up to a superb 6th on his WRC debut. Kosciuszko 7th. So no one able to halt the charge of Sébastien Ogier so far. Will there be a late twist on Sardinia's winding roads? We'll find out in just a moment. Back once more to the holiday hotspot of Sardinia, where it's been all work and very little play for the WRC class of 2013. The closing stages of Rally Italia coming up. First though, news of another impressive performance from a certain Polish star in the WRC2 support series. A far cry from the smooth tarmac of Grand Prix racing, but Robert Kubica has made an incredible transition to the rough, tough, tight and twisty tracks of World Rally. A dominant maiden win last time out in Greece. Former F1 star Kubica continuing where he left off here in Sardinia. After building an overnight lead of more than a minute, the Pole eventually finished fully 4 minutes ahead of the rest of the field. His nearest challenger, this man, championship leader Abdelaziz Al-Kouari. The Qatari maintaining a comfortable lead ahead of 3rd place Lorenzo Bertelli. The Italian, though, clearly at home, scoring his first points of the season in his Subaru Impreza. No doubt, though, about the start of the show. Once again, it's back-to-back victories for Robert Kubica. Confirmation then of the Poles' emphatic victory, 4 minutes and 17 seconds ahead of our Kouari. Kubica moves up to 4th in the championship. Kouari stays in front. Okay, back to Paul now for the finale of the main WRC Rally Italia.
And Kevin, the Italian organisers are mixing it up a bit for 2013, running the power stage as the penultimate test. The end of this busy two-day rally is within sight, so it's time for focus and concentration for the remaining runners. Into the power stage then, bonus points on offer for the top 3 finishers, and as we've seen so often this season, Ogier is greedy for more. Incredibly, he is going for it. Despite the risks involved in attacking so close to the finish, Sebastian is a confident young man. It's a power stage bonus win to add to a now almost certain overall victory. And the power stage results actually match the overall positions. Ogier grabbing 3 points for the fastest time, with Neuville and Latvala also picking up a bonus by finishing 2nd and 3rd fastest in the second pass through Moni di Ala. So after an exhausting 15 stages and 282 kilometres, this is the final test, and Martin Prokop can be very satisfied with his shift. 5th is the Czech privateer's best result of 2013. And what a remarkable recovery we've seen in Sardinia from Jari-Matti Latvala. Down in 12th after his stage 1 puncture, but not down in the dumps. The Greece winner has shown admirable resolve to battle back into the top 3. And the Rally d'Italia 2013 may well be remembered as a breakthrough event for this man, Thierry Neuville.
Pour gauche, sur droite 40, tourne, ouvre, ferme 43, et droite libre, sur gauche. Sur gauche 80 mètres, gauche 110 un peu tard, et 3.
Oh, what's this? Oh, there's a cow in the road. Late drama for Neuville, but thankfully both cow and car emerge unscathed. And the Qatar M Sport man secures his best ever finish with a well-deserved 2nd place.
Super. Youhou, bravo, génial.
Yes.
Thierry, you can get quite used to this now, 2nd place, but some small drama towards the end of the stage there. What happened?
Yeah, we had to go in the stage and we had to slow down and turn around. But I didn't stress at all. I just slow down, turn around, and then I go again. And I had to split to Jari-Matti, and I saw it was okay.
Thierry understandably delighted, but it has to be said, in this sort of form, it's beginning to feel like a question of when and not if Sebastian Ogier will claim his and Volkswagen's first world title. Their brief setback in Greece now firmly put behind them. Ogier and co-driver Julien and Gracia have responded in emphatic fashion. Congratulations to the team as well, of course. The Polo are as faultless as ever, with an impressive 7 stage wins out of 16. That is their first Sardinian success. The Italian job secured in some style.
Sebastian Ogier, Sardinia 2013, winner again. It's just getting better and better.
Yeah, it's been a very good race for us. We just managed perfectly all the time. We push when we needed. We just be a bit more careful when it was more rough, more dangerous for puncture, more hard for the tires. And at the end, I think it's just a perfect result.
So Ogier's 4th win of 2013, another dominant one, almost 1 minute and 17 seconds his margin of victory over Thierry Neuville, who holds on for his best results in the WRC. Further back, what a weekend for young Welshman Elfyn Evans, 6th on his first outing at the sport's top level. Robert Kubica, 9th overall. Back at the Olbia Service Park, a job well done by Ogier and the entire VW outfit.
Sebastian, after what happened in Greece, what a fantastic way to hit back in the title race.
Yeah, of course. I really wanted this weekend to win. It's been 2 months without victory, and I miss a bit this feeling. So this weekend I arrived here with a lot of motivation, and I really did everything to don't let any chance to the other to win. And I'm really happy. Now it's the breaks of the season, some holidays, and for sure I will enjoy it a lot now.
Again, unbelievable, isn't it? It was a fantastic rally. was a very tough rally. It was but not only Sebastian in winning. It's also Jari-Matti came back after having the flat tire in the first stage, losing 2 minutes and never giving up and pushing really hard. I say it can't be better having the two drivers on the podium. And when look at the championship as well, it's a big step in the championship, on the drivers' championship as well as on the manufacturers' championship.
Yes, another resounding success for Volkswagen and of course Sébastien Ogier. The Frenchman heads into the summer break with a lead of 64 points now over teammate Jari-Matti Latvala. Neville's second place sees him move up to third. Martin Prokop also on the up after that excellent fifth place, and a frustrating weekend for Yevgeny Novikov. Frustrating too for Citroën in terms of the Manufacturers' Championship. Herben's late retirement and VW's double podium leaves the German team with a lead of 46 points now. It's another champagne moment for Sébastien Ogier and Julien Ingrassia. And with a month's break before the next rally, they can let the bubbles go to their head down on the WRC front. Enjoy your summer. We'll be back in August for the Classic Rally Finland. But after another breathtaking, brutal adventure here at the WRC Italia, with me, Kevin Piper, and Paul King. Thanks for watching. Goodbye from Sardinia.